What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop. In this episode, we'll be reviewing the amazing win against the Giants. Let's get into it. So before we get into it, of course, this episode is sponsored by Footy Live, the app. Download it wherever you download your apps. I use it for all of my stats, etc. Thank you so much to them. Now let's get into this review. Whew. Mother's Day, 4:40 on a Sunday. GWS MCG. Now, it wasn't going to be a 70 to 80,000 spectacle like the Sydney game was last week against another New South Wales side. But, you know, we had 37,000 of the Magpie faithful to the MCG. Now, this was a game going into it, I was like, oh man, I don't know what's going to happen here. I thought maybe, you know, what happened with West Coast last year, that we were going to get rolled, because I feel like every Collingwood supporter is like nervous before a game and they go, oh, what's going to happen here, what's going to happen here, even if we're playing really good football. But the guys just absolutely proved me wrong, and we were in for just one of those games where you could sit back, really enjoy the breathtaking football and the champagne football that Craig McRae and the whole Collingwood club is just playing at the moment. It was, at parts, it was a bit scrappy, because classic, but for most of it, it was just end to end, that high running, that just go, beautiful goals just coming out of everywhere. I think we kicked 18 goals today, 120 points, you know. That's the third time we've gotten over 100 this season. Our biggest win since round 2 against Port. And everyone was just on fire. And it was good to just have a percentage booster. Just literally just have a percentage booster, and obviously the 4 points. Now, we sit 8-1. We're one game clear on top. And we've got the second highest percentage in the whole league. Geelong have got about 140 something, and we got 129, just shy of 130%. Now that's amazing, because I think last year we finished in the top 4 with, I want to say, just under 100%, 100% percentage. I think, I want to say that, but you guys will correct me down below. But my God, it was a special day as well because of Mother's Day. But it was just so good to be like, yep, awesome, good goal, bum. It's a great time to be a Collingwood supporter right now. The game couldn't have started better. Bobby Hill, in his 50th game, after everything that he had to overcome, kicked a just Leon-esque goal on the boundary, and nonchalantly as well. He wasn't under pressure. He looked inside, couldn't find an option, and just bang, put it on the boot, dribbled it, goal. What a way to not only open the scoring against your former side, not only to open the scoring for Collingwood, but the first goal on your 50th game. That's absolutely phenomenal, special. And, you know, Bobby has had a quiet couple of weeks, but he just showed why he's in the team. You know, and it's not just his goals, it's his tackling, it's his pressure, and everything that comes in between. Another guy that just absolutely blew me away, and who's probably going to get the 3 Brownlow votes, is my boy Coxilla, Mason Cox. Kicked 2 very nice goals, 25 hitouts, 19 disposals, 3 tackles, 4 clearances, 200 metres gained, and he was just clunking marks everywhere. He was shifting down to defence and taking marks. Up forward, he was taking marks. It was good to see him back. I know we saw him back last week, and we did get a good Cox last week, but he was probably going at about 60%. Now he's getting more game time in, he's getting better, and it's just a perfect lead up to the rest of the season if Cox can stay on the park and we get him firing after missing him since that round 2 game against Port Adelaide. This was just one of those games where every single player on the team did exactly what they needed to do. Will Hoskin-Elliott popped up and kicked 2 goals and took us back to 2018. Jack Ginnivan, 2 goals. Myercheck. You know, Jordan De Goey played one of his best games. Maybe, yeah, probably one of his best games for the club, I would say. What did he have? 31 disposals, 5 tackles, 7 clearances, 500 metres gained. Like, that's going to get him a Brownlow vote or 2. Tom Mitchell, I know it's Tom Mitchell, big name signing. We've been talking about Billy Elliott, Billy Frampton, we've been talking about Bobby Hill, and we started talking about Tom Mitchell at the start of the season. But his game today, 36 disposals, 4 tackles, 4 clearances, nearly 400 metres gained, 6 marks, instrumental just in and under. And, you know, we talked about that he could be Recruit of the Year, but the way he's playing, it's just, he isn't that sort of big flashy player that he was at Hawthorn, and that is perfect for us because he's not getting a lot of attention from the other teams. He can go in and under packs. Taylor Adams is reaping the rewards. John DeGoey, Jack Crisp, Scott Pendlebury, they're all reaping the rewards. And, oh man, acquiring Tom Mitchell was just such a good bloody move. Such a good bloody move. So we went into this game thinking, what would GWS going to do with Nick Dacos? Were they going to tag him? Were they going to put pressure on him? And they did neither. He got 40 disposals, was made to do what he wanted. He had over 500 meters gained. Look, only one clearance, only one tackle, but he was setting up plays off the halfback line. He went into the middle a little bit, but pretty much just setting up plays with the halfback line, having 40 disposals. He wasn't like, he had scored 9 score involvements as well. Wasn't super instrumental like he was against Anzac Day and stuff, but he did what he needed to do because you want the ball in the hands of your great players. Even if Pendlebury has 20, you know that they're going to do something really well with the ball. So that's why you want to give the ball to the hands of these silky players. I could go down the list and say what everyone did correctly or the best, but it was just an all-round great team performance. Now, what does this mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, like I said, we're 8-1, we're top of the ladder, but I think in the past, and I kind of alluded to this in my preview video and at the start of this video as well, in the past, these sort of games against the lower sort of teams kind of make you sit up and go, shit, are we going to win? Is this going to be, a loss that kind of comes out and just haunts us? What's going to happen here? And I keep bringing on the Collingwood West Coast game from last season. That's just what I kind of felt like this game was going to be, even though I thought we were going to win, but it was kind of leaning towards that sort of way. But this team now, they can, I said after the Adelaide game that winning how we won against Adelaide is what champions do, right? Is what really, really, really good teams do. But beating teams that are lower than you, like, GWS, Kangaroos, West Coast, you can't just beat them by 3 goals, right? 14 points or something like that. These are the teams, if you want to be a really good team, and you just have to look at Geelong, you just have to look at Melbourne. If you want to be a really good team, you have to put these teams away. And I don't mean by 20, 30 points. You've got to absolutely dominate them. And that's exactly what we did. What was it? 65 points in the end. We let them kick 55 points. 120 points was the highest the Giants have been scored against all season. So we absolutely put our foot down, and I've been saying it since the start of 2019. We need to put teams to the sword. We finally put a team to the sword, kind of like we did against Port Adelaide as well. Put them to the sword, and it was just beautiful to watch. It was just scintillating football, and it gives you hope that when we do versus Kangaroos, when we do versus West Coast, these games that would often be danger games, you can kind of go into them a little bit more relaxed and calm and think, no, you know what? We actually have this. And it's kind of reminding me of, and I always get drilled about this on Twitter when I say it, from opposition supporters, of course, but it kind of reminded me of what we used to do in 2011, where we would go in, say, how much are we going to beat these guys by today? And then we put up that, and we win by 65, and we, get to 120 points. And I want to become a ruthless football club. I want to not take the foot off the gas, not take the foot off the throat, so to speak, and putting teams to the sword. I want to become absolutely ruthless, like Melbourne were, like Geelong kind of are starting to be right now. Those are the two sort of teams that you sort of model yourself against, and say, I want to be absolutely ruthless. We can't let teams be in with a sniff at that 3/4 time, and then obviously we run over the top of them, but we can't do that. And in saying that, we always say that we're a fast starting team. We kicked 5 goals won in the first quarter, and then in the last quarter we say we're a good finishing team. We kicked 5 goals 4, so we had an opportunity to kick even more goals, but started fast, ended even quicker. So that's really good to see that we can just run out the whole game. And sometimes in the second quarter, the third quarter, we kind of drop off and be like, okay, this is where we let the teams kick a bunch of goals and sort of come back into it. The second quarter, we kicked 4 goals, and then the quarter after, the third quarter, we kicked 4 goals as well. So this was pretty much, if I do say so myself, for the first time maybe this year, a 4-quarter performance, which is Exactly what we want in the lead up to next week. And another shout out as well, Jamie Elliott, 3 goals, 1. He's been played back into form. We've been saying we need to drop him because he's not doing this, he's not doing that. And he looked injured and just down on his luck. But he was played into form today. The boys just absolutely got around him when he was kicking those goals, especially that goal along the boundary like in the Essendon game, which was just so good to see. But now, 8-1, top of the ladder. Soak it in. Enjoy it. Absolutely enjoy it, because this doesn't happen all the time. So bloody enjoy it in the lead up to, what is it, round 10 next week. I don't know who we verse next week, but it's round 10, and we should hopefully be trying to go up 9-1 in the first 10 rounds, which will be huge. It's just another game next week though. Who are we playing? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. We'll try and beat anyone who's in front of us. But look, GWS, thanks for coming. See you later. But like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, Double Shackers. I'll swoop you later.